Oh, we're live.
So what's up, everybody? You are at Shawn Unfiltered, and I have some very, very special guests for my very first live. We got Shon and Larhonda from Put a Ring on It. So thank you both for joining me on my very first live. You also don't know, but you're kicking off my birthday weekend for me.
Oh,
let's go.
Appreciate you guys. We had a chance to chop it up a little bit. And catch up with Shon and Larhonda and see what they're up to. So for the audience, please drop some comments below. Keep it respectful. You know, we got a lovely Black couple. You know, we always talk about supporting Black love. Well, here it is. You know, we want to dive into their journey, hear a little bit about them, what they're doing today. But if you have any comments, please drop it in the comment section, and we will ask. You know, again, Shon and Larhonda, appreciate you guys for joining me on this journey. My channel just kicked off about a week ago. So, you know, interviews is one of the things I said I would incorporate in there. And, you know, I appreciate you guys taking the time out tonight to really chop it up with us here. A little bit about me. I've been in banking for over 20 years on the management side. Just started this journey, you know, with YouTube and chopping it up, doing reality shows. So I'm so looking forward to hearing more about you guys and what you did, how you met, your love story. I'm always interested in love stories, so I want to hear your love story. I know about the DM slide. I got that. I want to get a little bit deeper than that. So we'll start it out with the first question. So at the end of the day, I know that you slid in her DM, Shawn, but how did you know to slide in the DM? Like, where did you meet her? Where did you see her? How did it all start?
I think I was lurking on some of her friends' pages, and she was the most impressive one. And I was like, hey, like you're in Atlanta. Why haven't we met before? And she was like, I am. And then and so I was like, yeah, we should definitely link up. And she was like, I'm down. And being that I have an unconventional lifestyle, I think I was like testing her. And I was like, what you doing tomorrow? And she was like, what's up? And I was like, oh,
what's up?
I was like, okay, she must have an unconventional lifestyle too, which was shocking because she doesn't. And she has a very corporate job, but you've been able to build to a point that like she kind of her own boss, right?
Anyways,
right.
I'm spontaneous at the end of the day.
Yeah, so.
I was also, you know, getting out of a relationship, and Shon came and saved me.
Which she didn't tell me, Shon. She did not tell me that she was like fizzling out of another situation. I thought that she was like single and ready to mingle.
No, he was boring. He didn't want to do things. And then so when Shon came into the DMs and like, do you want to hang out on Friday? It's like, let's go, because this is not it over here.
So Larhonda, wait a minute. You mean you haven't? You talk about it was fizzling. It sounds like the cap wasn't closed on the bottle yet.
No, it was.
She just didn't tell him that the cap was closed.
He didn't know. She knew, but
he didn't know.
He knew.
Supposedly, but you know, Larhonda does like to keep stuff close to her chest until you ask out front. Right? He knew? You sure? All right.
So how soon after that first date did you officially let him know that the relationship was over?
Oh, I don't know this answer.
Who, the other guy?
Yes.
Okay, this is what happened for real. I ended up going
to text him now.
I ended up going on a vacation with my family on a cruise, right? Mm-hmm. And he was apparently going through some, I don't know what he was going through. Either way, he sent me a text like 2 weeks later and was like, I apologize for being so distant, this, that, and the third. And, you know, I had this going on, whatever. And I was like, it's okay.
Well, thank you.
And left it at that.
Thank you, sir. Right. I appreciate you.
I was like, it's all good. Because at that point, I had moved on.
Okay. So has he reached out to you to figure out if you guys are still together or not, or he knows now?
No,
Okay.
and we were not together. We were dating.
Oh, okay. We gotta watch the ladies sometimes, LaRhonda. So I just had to ask a few serious questions because sometimes y'all can have us guys in a tailspin too.
Right.
Shawn, we definitely do gotta watch the ladies because we have different ideals on dating, right? Now, when it comes to giving advice to like the little ones, I'd be like, talk to her, then come talk to me.
I think that it is important to date and figure out what you need and what you want in a partner and for yourself. He just falls in love with everybody.
No, I don't. I fell in love with the right person. So I won.
Oh, look at that.
Give me some.
Baby.
My baby.
We love it.
Pushy.
So, what's wrong with that? Slid in the DM. Now my next questions are going to be for you, Shawn. So you said you was looking around in her friends' DMs. How did you know these friends? Were they from around town, or
we had a couple of mutual friends, like from the school I went to, Claflin University, and like just being around good people, right? And you know that's the case. Like I don't really see nobody just posing in front of Jeep Cherokee and just kicking it. And then who was that, right? You kind of know people from people, and I'm like, all right. So if she hanging around this person, then she got to be a good person. And I was like,
I like that.
Let me just see what's up. So.
And that's how we hear the best relationships really start, right? Because you have something in common, you got a common friendship, go to similar places. So it just kicked off from there. So you just leveraged social media to widen the net of reach of who you were going to reach out to, and you reached out to her. So that's
for sure. I was definitely a scroller, right? I was scrolling, I stopped and was like, wait a minute. Like I know this person, that person, this person. Why I don't know her?
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, I love that. That's dope. Now, tell me about that profile look, because some of the fellas we have behind the scenes conversations on women's profile pictures and Instagram and social media. What did her social media look like? Was it a bunch of quotes and posts, or was it more than that?
It was exotic, right? So we had a couple of club pics, had some pics like I think it was like one pic like on the cliff, like out of the country somewhere.
Okay.
So she lives a fun life, right? So I'll be looking for fun. I'll be looking for good vibes. So
nice.
Try not to judge too much by pictures, because they say a picture worth 1,000 words, but you can pose for whatever. So
of course, and no just shots from here above. You can see her body, you can see everything.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see.
Watch out.
Yeah, I could see the full body. So I was like, all right, we in there. All right.
Love it. So for the ladies out there, if you're looking for social media, you want some tips on how to, dress up your social media. First, you don't have to show everything, but at the very least, please give us let us see the full body, right? Yes. When we see waist up shot, when we see head up shots from the shoulders, we might just scroll on past. And we want to see you doing things, activities, or the things that are fun for you, because that gets our attention as well. And we like quotes. And this is just me. I hope I'm not projecting. All right. But we like quotes, but minimize the quotes. All right. If your timeline has more quotes than pictures.
That's real though. I will say though, I think my profile in general, I'm all over the place on social media. Like there is no specific box brand, which is kind of bad in some ways, but it's like that's really who I am, like as a person. So
yeah. Because she'll definitely go shoot rabbits.
And then lead a corporate meeting on Monday.
Come on now. Come on, somebody. Come on.
Wait, shoot rabbits. You hunt?
Yeah. Yeah, she hunt. She taught me how to hunt.
Shawn, I do a little bit of everything for real. Like
you out there shooting. Now, what do you do? Do you eat the rabbits? Do you eat them after you cook them, or is it just for sport?
I've eaten a few rabbits in my day. My daddy is really country. Like he's from the mountains of Virginia. So, we might, kill a few snakes, hunt a few rabbit, go deer hunting.
I killed my first snake with her and everything. So, yeah.
What kind of snake?
Was it an anaconda, baby? We gonna put some pressure. We gonna
anaconda. Y'all in Brazil killing?
It was an anaconda, and it was in the back of the car, and she was like, "Baby, get it," and I was like, "Oh!" And I had to snap his head off.
And he did.
Now, Shawn, I know you're an actor and a comedian. I'm not sure I'm buying what you're selling right now, bro.
Nah, her daddy actually like put a trap down in the creek behind her grandma's house, and it was like live snakes still in there. And he handed me the shovel and was like, "Shawn, you want to kill it?" And as
he really didn't want to kill it. No, you can see it in his face.
But as his future son-in-law, I can't back down. He like, "You kill it." I'm like, yeah, I want to kill it. And I took the shovel and had to chop his head off. And then I was so proud of myself, but it was regular for them. So they was like, "Okay, next one." And I was like, "Next one, okay." So yeah.
Oh man, listen, we're gonna move on to the next topic. I don't want to upset the folks in PETA because y'all taking us out with these animals and stuff. But Larhonda, you mentioned something about Virginia. So you're not originally from Atlanta?
No, I'm from South Carolina.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, Rock Hill, South Carolina. Shout out to the Rock. But my daddy is from Virginia. So Virginia, Tennessee, the mountain area.
Nice. Where is Rock Hill? What's that close to?
Charlotte. So it's about 15 minutes below Charlotte.
Oh, okay. All right.
So if you want to go out for a night in the town, we have to cross the border and go to Charlotte.
Oh, so you're closer to the North Carolina end.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So I've got family in Raleigh, and then I have family in Edgefield, South Carolina, which is a little deeper into South Carolina. So
okay, I've never even heard of Edgefield.
I'm from Spartanburg.
He is from Spartanburg.
Got to put that out there. Shout out to Spartanburg.
Okay, so how did you get to Larhonda first? How did you wind up landing in Georgia, and then after that, Jay?
All right. So after school, I went to school for engineering, electrical engineering, at Clemson University, and then got a co-op at Georgia Power Company. So whenever I started working in school, at my internship at the power company, when I graduated, it was either in Georgia, in Atlanta, or in Charlotte at Duke Power. And I was like, Duke Power in Charlotte is like 10 minutes from the house, and my mother would try to move in.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, nah, take me to, the big city of Atlanta. And I knew that there was a lot of stuff to do here. I enjoyed the job. So that's how I got here.
Nice. Cool. And Shawn, how about you?
For me, entertainment was always the goal. Acting was always, the goal. I started on radio like in Greenville, South Carolina. So, smaller city, but I was always so focused on getting to Atlanta, right? And so I moved to Atlanta probably about 7-8 years ago and just trying to go for it. And I failed. So I ended up after like 1.5 years, 2 years, moving back home with my mom's. Then I came and moved back 5 years ago and definitely had to learn all of those lessons, took it on the chin. I was like, okay, cool. I'm not leaving. We're going to figure this out. And just a blessing that, we have figured it out and created some consistency. So.
Awesome. So when you talked earlier about your how you met and then the love story. So somebody wants to know who fell in love with who first?
Oh, that's so easy.
That is not.
Baby, tell them now.
Me?
Tell them.
I fell in love with you first.
She not gonna say that.
Okay, I will say I am a little more reserved and just, try to feel out everything before falling head over heels.
Reserved, scared, all of that.
Not scared, but just cautious.
Okay. So
he may have fell in love first. I didn't even know we went together at first. So
wait a second. What? Larhonda, I'm sensing a pattern here.
No.
She's so secretive, like she's really secretive.
He did
until
not
you actually
tell me.
Get to know
he didn't tell me that we were going together. This is like 2 or 3 months after dating. And so I was like on a trip with some of my girlfriends, and I was like, I'm seeing this guy, he's this, that, and the third. And they were like, so do y'all go together? And I'm like, I don't know. Let me ask him.
I'm embarrassed.
And he said yes. So we went together.
So obviously, what up, everybody? Thanks for joining. Oh, hey. So obviously, I fell in love with her first.
I don't think so.
It was, baby. It definitely was. It was me already kind of being locked in and knowing her energy, knowing her vibe. Like, she actually pushes me to be great. I don't listen to a lot of people. I'm very stubborn. I'm very like self-centered. And it was something about her that made me like want to listen, you know, want to learn, want to do better in life. And it was a couple of things that made me be like, yo, like, it just changed my mentality of how I viewed, you know, dating in the future. Because what I found, I can't speak for every woman, so please don't give me hell. But what I found in dating women in the past is that there was always an ulterior motive, right? I need you to do this for you, but it's really for me, right? I need you to, you know, get your bread up so you can go half with me on buying something, right? Or I need you to do X, Y, and Z so you can buy me this for Christmas or whatever. So everything that she was telling me to improve in my life wasn't for her. It was for me. And I was like, wow, like I've never had anybody care about me for me. She was like, basically, I don't need nothing from you, but just for you to be here and to love me. But you need to be getting your credit straight. You need to be looking at your savings account. You need to be doing X, Y, and Z, because that's not for me. That's for you. And just as a grown man, you need to be doing that for yourself. And I was like, wow. So I was like, with somebody to care about me that much, right? It's just something that kind of took me back and was like, man, like this the one. She ain't going nowhere. Like, this the one for real.
I love that. So, you know, a lot of the ladies, not all, but they you know, they kind of talk about this whole build a bear, and you know, they want a man to already be where he should be. So Larhonda, what did you see in him? How did you know, kind of think about it was worth the investment?
Right. I think for me, like, I am just values and morals and like how you respect others and yourself over money and material things. And no, Shawn, he was super just intentional in general, as far as like how he showed love, how he expressed love, super funny. And I love to laugh. But no, just also in what the people didn't see from a show perspective, he is also about the grind as well. And so we both, you know, mesh there. But no, for me, it's not like, at the end of the day, you can make $1. Like, we can make $1. But it's things that you can't teach or that you can't bring to the table from the inside. That's gotta be here first. Because there's a lot of people with money, but they're horrible people. It's a lot of men and women who have millions and can't stay at home and be faithful. So now for me, like, what's your core values first and foremost, and we can go from there.
Yeah, and Shawn, I also want to add that I thought I was already the shit for sure, because I was hosting and doing like shows for like years. So on some like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type stuff. But I didn't realize that I was treating myself horrible. Like, I could not eat for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Not have the money to eat, but like not eat for 2 days and think it was okay. And then to have somebody that I actually respect come in and be like, yo, this is not cool, right? Like, you should have $1,000 in your account, like minimum under minimum, right? Like, you just out here just winging it, like,
no. And see, Shawn's problem. Shawn's problem though, and what was kind of said on the show, but not really. And I think people took it for him being broke. He gets money. And has always gotten money. His problem is managing the money. When he gets it, he's ready to spend and go and show. And I'm like,
and for somebody to be like, don't do that.
And I am so frugal.
I'm like, okay, cool. Like,
yeah, I'm definitely like super frugal.
Nobody has told me not to do that before. They've only said spend it on me, right?
Mm.
Oh, got it. So it's okay for me not to have bread, but as long as I'm spending it on you, then it's like, oh yeah, my man, he get money. And I'm like, wait, like, where's my savings?
I love that concept. And so would you say in your relationship, because, you know, obviously in a relationship, there's different dynamics. There's who does what, who is handling or managing the finances? Okay.
1,010%.
No, I like that, because, you know, when we look at where we are, right, you know, and it has to be based on who does what better. in a lot of instances. And I love that the fact that that's your strength. There's no qualms about, I'm a man, I'm not a man. She has it. She knows how to manage things better. So you are able to work with her on that. So I like that you guys do that. And you may not know about me, but I was married before. And that's one of the things I learned, unfortunately, in the marriage that didn't sustain it. But you can't be so concerned about what other people think, because what other people think can filter into your marriage and ruin the relationship. Right. So did any of your friends ever say to you, LaRhonda, like, why are you doing X, Y, Z? Or anybody ever question you, whether outside or inside the show?
Probably more so during the show. Outside of the show, I think, for one, our family and friends thought that the whole show was a joke because they knew both of us. They knew Shawn. They knew his businesses and X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third. So when it came to the show and what he was presented as, they're like, that's not the Shawn that we know, right? But no, not really. Only during the show was when it was kind of like well, let me take it back. Oh, yeah, no. From our relationship, only during the show was when it was she can do better. And I'm like, I don't even know what it is.
One of my OGs told me you cannot control the edit. So when I'm looking at the show, I'm like, dang. I'm like, is that me? Like I'm looking at me asking, is that me? I'm like, wow.
Now I will say, Shawn, I did have a little, something to pick with you though.
Uh-oh. I don't want the heat. I don't want the heat, but I'll take it.
I'm kidding. No heat though. So it was one time I was watching the panel discussion, and you would probably be closest when it came to like what you guys were speculating as it related to like our relationship, right? As far as the financial dynamic.
Yeah.
And one point that you made, you were like, he could, as men, they want to be the head provider, right? And you were like, he could actually be doing very well off. Like everybody, for whatever reason, was like, him wanting to provide and not able to meant broke, right? And you were like, he could be very well off, but she just might be, this, that, and the third of all, right? In comparison to most people.
Right.
But then you were like, but I highly doubt it. I was like, he was like, she could, be a no, I'm kidding, ain't no multi. Then you were like, I highly doubt. I'm like, come on, Shawn, stick in there.
That's a part of me where, especially being, broadcasting, I always want to leave that room for, I just don't know. So, but I'm glad I was mostly there. So absolutely. So, listen, I got to know you too from watching as a viewer, and it was something that I saw, right? And that's just me. And I think I have a little bit of intuition. So I kind of was picking up on little things. But going back to those original scenes, Shawn, because we got to get to that. Like, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about
that peanut butter sandwich. The tears. Tell us what was going on really behind that.
Listen, I can't cook like that, so I really do eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Okay.
I didn't leave him a good home cooked meal, so he ain't had nothing to eat.
I really do eat it. Like if I'm hungry, I really will fix me a peanut butter jelly sandwich. So like all that is like real. But honestly, man, like just from going from a place of not being faithful and being an F-boy and just doing the most, right? That was the first time I ever saw her leave out of the house intentionally going on a date with somebody that she may, want to invest in, right? So I really was distraught. Like
y'all saw my first date. He knew that.
Yeah, so I really was distraught. I really was hurt. And as far as like the push-ups and working out and all of that, like I have really bad anger issues, but the way that I deal with it is working out, right? So when I get upset, we've literally been on a road trip before, and not even upset with her, but maybe like on the phone or something like that. like trying to close a deal or just getting frustrated, I would pull over and get out and actually physically do push-ups like that. And it came from like just growing up and like only my mom being there and just not being able to talk to me. So she would make me work out to calm down enough so that she could talk to me. So like that's instilled in me from like elementary school, right? So like that's a real thing. Like if I get really mad or get really frustrated, I will work out to respect myself and the other person.
Got you.
So all of that's real.
So there was no editing. You really didn't eat the sandwich. You was really upset, and it was what it was.
Really distraught. All of that was real. I saw my baby, the love of my life, walk out with somebody that she could potentially decide to invest in, and I was gone. So all of that's real, 100%.
Okay. And it sounds like from what LaRhonda's saying, there wasn't even a shot in hell that was going to go anywhere anyway.
But just real, like Shawn, although he's an entertainer, but he's also dramatic in real life. So, like y'all probably thought that it was like for TV. My baby is dramatic. He really is. And I'm over here like, no, it ain't take all that. But thank you for that is me all day, every day. If we get into an argument now, I'm gonna get down and start doing push-ups or try to take a walk. And like on a serious note, I grew up in a house with like real bad domestic violence, right? Really, really bad. So it's to the point that when I see anything that feels similar, like I remove myself because I'm not going to argue with another woman. Like definitely not my queen, but another woman, period. Like, yo, if I'm not getting through to you, then I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? So
no, I get that. And I like your approach to it is to avoid it, because, we do another show that's Married at First Sight that comes on Lifetime. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but we're seeing that kind of tough cycle of, how, a man is dealing with an abusive situation. So I like the approach that you walk away, because that's really the only thing that we can do, especially if it's a man and a woman entangled in a situation. You're not going to win. Trying to argue, trying to go back and forth, match the energy is going nowhere. So leaving is the right thing to do. So what you gonna say?
I mean, that part. I
said I'll give you one more. My last relationship, like it got to the point that like it was so toxic that I broke it off, even thinking that I would like have to defend myself from this lady. Like even the thought was like, whoa, I will never be a monster. I'm never going to turn into my dad. So our relationship is over. And she was like, really? And I was like, it ain't that deep. And I was like, yes, it is. I'm out. So yeah.
I appreciate that. Like I just did a video around gaslighting, and some of the ladies, either between the panel discussions that we were having that were commenting, they could not see that this particular woman was really doing things destructive and abusive in the relationship. So I love that you shared that story and that you opened up to talk about what you saw and how you were able to get yourself out of it. Because one, not everybody is, and two, a lot of people doubted that men can be in a situation where they're potentially being abused. And it's not always physical. It's sometimes verbal, it's sometimes mental, and it happens. So I appreciate you sharing that part of you and how you handled it even better. So that's dope.
You got a question?
Shawn, can he see the host love to try to host?
It's Shawn and Shawn Unfiltered. That's
let this man do his job.
We gonna get to it. So just thinking about that and how you two manage relationships, what would you say your respective love languages are?
Mine is quality time and acts of service.
Kindness service.
Same
thing.
Yeah.
Mine is physical touch and words of affirmation.
Love it.
Yeah.
And did you discuss that early on in your relationship, in your love journey?
No, we didn't, but I think we probably knew because we probably knew based off of how we treated one another, right? Because he's more of, since his love language is words of affirmation, he's always giving the words. And I'm what is mine? Quality time. Oh, you might be quality time too, though.
Yeah, quality time.
I think you said physical touch too, right, Shawn?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do all of this.
So that's what all that head rubbing was about that we were seeing.
Rub me, baby, please. I love that. Like,
awesome.
Not like that, bro. They like, she's over here manipulating him to control him. I'm like, y'all don't rub y'all's man.
We don't care what they ain't like.
And guess what? That's the way it should be, right? Because at the end of the day, it's you two.
Okay, but Shawn, are people not affectionate for real? In general?
They thought we was doing too much. They thought it was for the cameras. That's what they thought. They was hating on us.
I asked the question.
Oh, you said Shawn? I don't know. You said Shawn.
Oh, Shawn.
So listen, this is what I was hearing from some and seeing a little bit, right? So LaRhonda, it's all love. We met chatting it up and hearing your perspectives, right? So what was happening a little bit was people were getting like a mothering vibe from you to him. So when they saw the head rubs, that was looking a little like, you were mommying him. That was the thought. I mean, we learn different, but that's what some of the people were saying.
No, I could see that, but I will say, just when it came to the edit in general, I think since Shawn and I didn't have a lot of drama in our relationship, right? I think they wanted to create personality dynamics between the two. That's a good point. Like, they took out all of my laughs and jokes, and then for him, they took out like a lot of his for real. Like, Shawn probably more serious than I am, and made him seem and made him seem like more childlike, right? Mm-hmm. So and immature and needing guidance in this mother. So as you guys are watching, it's like, if I do this, she is mothering this child. It's like, where is all of the rest of our to make us more even from a personality standpoint, and not like this mother and child? But it was presented. So even like us watching it, it's like, that ain't it. But you
can't control the edit.
That's it. So I'll go to the earlier question. So I know you were talking a little bit earlier about your dad and some of the things that played out in your childhood. How is your relationship with him now?
I don't hate my dad because he's the reason that I'm here, right? But I haven't talked to him, so I know where he stay at. He texted me the other day, but I have had an urge to talk to my dad because I feel like at this point I do just kind of want to chop it up with him. It's just difficult because I just don't know what we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, how are you? Hey, what up, son? How you doing? I'm good. You good? All right. Talk to you later. Like, I don't know what to talk about. So that's what it is.
I hear you. Now, another thing about me is I'm a big proponent of therapy, right? I'm in therapy now since embarking on my divorce. It's something that I was very intentional about doing one-on-one. I have done it while even being married. Is that something that you two either do, feel necessary to do, would do in the future?
Therapy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I will say that's honestly one of the major reasons why we decided to do the show. We thought that it was going to be more personal therapy, relationship counseling, which it was to an extent, but that was kind of like the secondary portion of the show. So,
give us the drama and the therapy.
And then we'll drizzle in the therapy, right? But no, that was for us, knowing that we were moving towards marriage. We knew that was something that we wanted to do as a couple, but also what we need to do as individuals as well.
Yes, I got issues, so I know that is what it is.
So have you explored that about your dad and maybe, in therapy, how those conversations would sound, or if it would be beneficial to have some type of conversation / relationship with him?
I mean, it gets really deep, but
which is good.
I think they would be okay conversations. I think more so from me and my dad having a relationship, I would love to get some kind of healthy balance between my dad and my whole family. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's that. I think just as his son, I still have to be that boundary between other situations that are bad, right? So I think for me it hurts the most because everybody else kind of was like, I see what's going on and I'm gonna remove myself. I removed myself last because I kept trying. And I was like, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I see what it is now. So it's hurting me more than it's helping me to try to hold on to this relationship and keep getting done wrong.
Now, has he reached out to you since the show or anything like that?
Yeah, so my dad stays in a unique situation, and so I don't even think he had a TV. But he hit me and was like, "I saw your little show," and I was like, "What's the show at?"
Why parents got to do that? Your little.
I saw your little show. Call me when you got time. I was like, I'm about to call you for what? But again, he has reached out. It is something that I do want to get to a healthy, place with. But again, like it was a lot of things that we discussed that wasn't shown. I think the part that, hurts me the most is my dad had choices, right? And I can say this and I think still be in a good place, right? I think the part that hurts even more than like history and what I've been through is me not being able to take care of my dad plus myself is a reminder that I'm not where I want to be in my career. Right. So me and Dr. Nicole actually discussed that. I put that pressure on me to be like, man, I really need to put my dad in a rehab facility. I really need to have him in this big mansion with 2 security guards to make sure that he can get himself right. But that's not my responsibility. Right. And so when I look at doing well in my career, but not doing great, like that's one of the things that weigh on me. So when I do hang around my dad or when we do have these conversations or when we are in contact, it depresses me a little bit because I'm like, dog, I should be popping right now to pull my dad completely out of his situation. But I have to also acknowledge the other side of that is that even with, X amount and being able to take care of my whole family plus my dad, like he's still gonna have choices. So why beat myself up over that if he's still going to maybe possibly not choose the right route anyway? So.
Got you. So is that a little bit what you were toiling with in waiting to propose to Larhonda? Was that's kind of what your thoughts were? Is like you wanted all that to be in place first before you embarked on proposing to her?
Yeah, Shawn. Yeah, man. I mean, because and when I really started thinking about it, in the end, that's not fair to her. Like this lady done helped change my whole mentality. This queen has put me in a position that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna win regardless. But I was putting everybody else in front of her, right? So in order, I was like, I gotta take care of my mom. She about to retire, so I gotta buy her a house. Okay, I gotta take care of this person, that person, this person. I gotta make sure my dad's straight, right? And then I can focus on me and Larhonda. And it was like, huh? Like that don't really add up how it's supposed to be. Because what she's telling me is, look, it ain't no pressure for me. Do what you need to do, and I'm gonna help you build. I'm gonna help you be great. Like it ain't no pressure to be great before it, because we already kicking it. We already together, baby.
Like I already doing marriage thing.
Like I ain't going nowhere, and I'm not going to be a hindrance of your growth. I'm going to help you get to the point that you say that you need to be at. So I was like, man, like I ain't never had this blessing ever in my life, ever.
Thank you for the words.
So when you think about that, is that because I know there was a part, and that also became something hotly debated during the show, is Larhonda, you were like pushing him to talk to his dad and try to like have a relationship. Is that what, did you see something or value in him having that connection, or what was that whole thing about?
I mean, and I think it was a little bit skewed as well. I'm sorry. I do think that a relationship with his father, or just people in general, like if we are able to have if our parents are still alive and they have not, a lot of times I think people hold on to the past and what they grew up in, and they've never forgiven their parents for doing the best that they could, right?
With what they had
and
at the
with
time.
what they had at the time.
Yeah.
And probably all of the stresses in the world, XYZ. And it wasn't necessarily a you need to talk to your daddy situation. It was, I see that your dad reaches out to you and wants to have conversations with you, but I also understand that you, whenever your father's name is either mentioned or there needs to be a conversation, like that's something that you can't even really have that conversation, right? So it's obviously something that is affecting you mentally inside. So you need to try to find some type of healing there. Not necessarily you and your father needs to be best friends. Not necessarily if you don't talk to your daddy or he's not in your life, then I'm not going to be here either. Just based off of the relationship that I have with my father. But it was really from you can't even think about having a conversation with your daddy, or think about your childhood and how he represented or who he was, in your childhood or in your life, without like your whole body language shifting. And so I was more so saying that you should possibly look to work on that, not you got to talk to this man and be his best friend.
Yeah.
I love the clarity, because some people looked at it as kind of like it was maybe a little manipulation or trying to push him into a place that he really wasn't comfortable. So the clarity is super important. And I think that speaks to, your role in his life and you just being that supporter and like, hey, I'm seeing this as an opportunity for you, less about the other person. Because that's one thing I learned in therapy too, is sometimes we have to do something that we may not want to do or do something that is uncomfortable, but it's the thing that's going to get us healed, or it's the thing that's going to benefit us most because we're hanging on to it and they're out there living their lives, doing whatever they need to do, unaware of how it's impacting us. So I love that. I think that's dope. The other thing I learned, and I heard this concept before, and then I heard another creator talk about it recently in an interview. It's Mrs. Kev on Stage, and they talked about the kite and the string concept with a couple. So somebody's the string, and that person is usually the one that's up, in the air. And, a visionary has ideas and always wanting to do things. And then there's somebody that's the string, and that person is the one that, will ground them and keep the kite from getting too high.
Oh, I'm the kite.
He's definitely the kite.
I'm the kite.
Which is also what I love about him too. Like, he has all of the ideas, all of the dreams, this is what he wants to do. But then it's like, all right, now, so what is the process?
So how are we getting this done?
How are we getting this done? No, I'm definitely the analytical and the more process-driven one. But
drives me nuts, but it is what it is.
How have you learned to balance that? Because sometimes it can feel like, oh, she's just trying to stop my shine, or she's just trying to get in my way. So how do you guys balance that out and work through that dynamic?
She gives me my time, and she jumps on board with me sometimes. There's some things that I don't like that she do, and I jump on board with her sometimes. So I think it's just more a compromise. Like she's more like no, because I was trying to make sure I say the wrong thing. Like she want the smoke sometimes, like from other people, and I'm like non-confrontational. But when it do come to like, all right, she done got wound up. It take a lot for her to get wound up. But if she get wound up, then I'm like, I got your back, baby. Like, what's up? What we doing, right? And so I think on my side, with all of these dreams, all of these, ideas, and she like, I got your back, baby. What we doing? So I love that.
I think it balances itself. Really, we're really like. We're opposites in a lot of ways, but then the same in ways as well. So like I said before, whenever he has all of these ideas and then I come with the actual steps to get to them, then we just moving and grooving from there.
Perfect. So it sounds like a little compromise, communication, you know. And how did you guys get to that place? Because obviously you just didn't day one fall in love and then just everything synced up. What were some of the things that you did to work through the challenges?
Argued a lot. No,
no, you ain't kidding. It's real.
No, I'm
it's
not
true.
kidding. But I will say early, I think it was kind of trying to figure out what the intentions of each party was, you know? So like, if I may have said something that was probably right or beneficial to a situation, then he may have felt that I wasn't giving him an opportunity to do what he wanted to do, even if what he wanted to do wasn't the best, you know, route. So I think once he realized, like, I'm here to be your teammate, to help you grow, and we on the same team, baby. Like, I don't understand why you feel like this is a fight. Like, even if whether I say something or he says something that the other party doesn't necessarily agree with, it's not because I don't like you or I don't want, you know, you to grow or vice versa. Like, when you grow, I grow, baby.
I love that. So you guys sound like, you know, you got all the makings of a really good, solid couple. Why? I know you mentioned the therapy, but why come on this show? How did that all even come about?
Because we was close to, I was personally, so she wouldn't know, I was close to asking her to marry me, right? So when they approached us with the opportunity, I was like, this might be cool, because at the end of the day, therapy is number one, and then we get to date other people once a week. And I'm like, dating other people once a week should not sway us, right? Because we locked in. This is my baby. It's not gonna sway me. It's not gonna sway her. We good. But I would like to say, right? And so they hit us on the DM, and I like researched it or whatever. They hit her as well, and she didn't check it. She deleted it. She thought it was spam.
I did.
So I brought it to her and was like, yo, I think this is a real opportunity. I looked them up, right? And she was like, really? And then so my stance was, I'll like, let's do it. I'll do it if you want to do it. And then she took a couple of days to think about it. She was like,
and then I watched first season and I was like, okay, this is not too bad. First season is like, it's real, regular couples going through therapy, counseling. You can date. I thought that, you know, it's very important to date people, to know, you know, if you're with the right person. And it was just super low key, right? Watching that first season. So I was like, why not? And we signed up for second season, and it was a whole different, it was a whole different experience from first.
You guys shook the table with that season.
Right. I say, what happened? I thought this was gonna be like first season. What?
I was like, oh my God. Like, they're really throwing it at us, huh?
So no, any thought of like the exposure that it may be, you know, that may come along with that, especially for you, Shawn, being in the entertainment industry. Was that a thought at all?
I think it was a little bit of a thought. I think anytime you decide to live your life in front of the world, then it's always going to be a thought of what's the next step, right? Mm-hmm. But as far as going through the experience and going through the process, like, all of that is what, you know what I'm saying, is what it was, right?
Yeah, we definitely went on through the experience and through the process as the couple that we were already and that we wanted to be. And like I said, go to counseling, everything else. Now, of course, that does come with the exposure. That does come with being on TV. That's kind of cool, right? But it wasn't necessarily primarily for that either.
Because it's a lot of other shows we could have signed up for if that was the case, just to get on TV, right? But I was like, man, this would be a cool experience, especially because I'm so close to proposing. And if we have an opportunity to get counseling and date other people in a controlled space, then I'm more comfortable doing that than being on some, hey, we need to see other people before I make this decision. Because it's like, huh? If we need to see other people, we don't need to be together, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, cool. If we can agree to go through this experience, I think it'll actually show us, you know, what we need to see
and make it through the end.
Yeah.
So when you think about that process, and that's honest, right? Because and I like that, because that's what this is all about. You know, when I think about what I want to do in this space, it's about being honest, and sometimes that's just a direct benefit of it, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? You're on TV, you're entertaining. Why not get a benefit of it? That's going to help you down the line. So especially in your field.
Because let me say this, because Shawn, sure, what you also have to realize is just looking at us over time, like me personally, I haven't used the show to catapult anything that I've been doing, right? I was grinding before.
Very true.
Yeah,
I was grinding, like you don't see me hashtagging, you know, put a ring on it or Shawn from Will Packer Show or nothing like that, because we were already grinding and we were already doing shows. I was already auditioning. I was already doing all of these things. So this experience was something that I really wanted to see. Are we strong enough to actually get engaged and make it to a wedding?
And I will say, Shawn, although a lot of people thought that it was for quote unquote exposure, this, that, the third, he was probably the quietest during any of this. Like very little promo, very little, hey, tune in XYZ. So, but I will say, like he said, he already had a bunch of stuff going on prior to the show. And after the show, it was some people who were like, oh, now Shawn has this, that, and the third going. And it's like, ain't none of this come from a show. He already had this going on.
That's just like seeing a car that you want, right? And be like, man, this is exclusive. I'm gonna buy this blue Tesla. And then once you get it, you're like, oh man, everybody got a blue Tesla. So it's just like,
right.
So it just puts you more in the forefront. Like now people claim to, you know of me. And I'm like, yo, like I've been doing these schools and these tours for years. And now it's like why he on the poster at my homecoming? What he do again? And I'm like I've been here, guys. Like
so let's dive into that a little bit, right? Because that was one of the other narratives that kind of got pushed out there, right? Is that you really weren't financially together, or you didn't have a lot of things going for yourself career-wise. So just talk a little bit about, you know, your career, what you were doing, the things you had in play long before Put a Ring on It came along.
So auditioning with the agency in Atlanta, trying to get like a real, you know, scripted TV show. But then just doing stand-up, doing hosting. So acting and doing stand-up, definitely, you know, still working on that, still like sharpening my knives and getting, you know, more in my tool belt with that for sure, right? But as far as hosting, like I am a beast. Like he
the guy. He is the guy to go to.
Like when it
comes to hosting.
When it comes to hosting, I tell anybody I'm top 3 and I don't know the other 2. Like I don't shy away from that. So when it comes to live event hosting, I've been doing that. 2008 when I actually pledged my fraternity, Lambda Sigma Chapter Omega Psi Phi, Fraternity Incorporated, you know, at Claflin University. But professionally since 2010, like every single semester, like getting booked, like doing 15 to 20 colleges a semester. So that's at least 40 shows a year. You know what I'm saying? Like that I've been like major colleges, HBCUs, all of that. So.
You ain't
nice.
Scored. Well, okay. And then in 2018.
Yeah, 2018, we took that whole hosting and energy because I always like to work with the DJ. So it's never a let me play the music, you do the jokes. It's always been a let's just go off of energy, let's just go off of hype and have a good time, right? So we took that same energy and, you know, created a brand called Ops Court Wars. And it kind of reminds you of an old school DJ competition, but the students get to compete. And we like created that from the ground up, started it on Instagram, like took it into a couple of different test schools and it ended up working well, right? So now take that 15 to 20 shows that I was doing by myself, and now we do 40 shows a semester. So
awesome. You guys were just touring, I think I saw, right? Did I see?
We still touring.
We're still touring. So it's definitely a blessing. We have a team of about 10 different people that, you know, we cut checks for and just, you know, in a situation to create as many millionaires as possible. I got to hit a meal first, but you know what I'm saying? Like the goal is to make sure that the whole team eats, and yeah, we make it happen.
Awesome. So for all of those that are curious, Shawn is an entrepreneur, an entertainer, and it was before Put a Ring on It, right? He had things going in the works for years. So, check him out, Aux Core Wars. I'll definitely link that down in the description later.
That's another thing when it comes to the edits as well. Like, he said all of that, but again, based off of, I think, the dynamic that they wanted us to have, they left them with, I want to be an actor and I'm a comedian. And they left out entrepreneur, business owner, like all of these other things.
Team of 10 people
that he is in order to create a storyline. So I ain't really like that, but it is what it is.
We love the support, LaRhonda. You're not having it.
Right.
She's like, I'm a stand by my man. I love it. We love to see that.
They played my man for 3 months.
But I will say that the consistency part of it, right, is something that we definitely hit on and that they played. And the consistency is just with doing college tours, right? Our busy seasons are going to be from September to the end of November. And then you have a break for Christmas break because school's not in. And then you kick back off January to, like late April, right? So when I say consistency, I mean, like, I could make X amount for 3 months. That's probably, and not even being cocky, but that's probably more than what people make in a year just from one tour, right? But I still want to figure out, how do I, continue to make bread when they're not in school, right? And so that was my thing, the consistency. I want to make the same every single month. I want to be balling out every single month and not have those low points and those low periods, is what I was trying to say. So.
Right. And I definitely heard a part. I heard that, when we got away from the shade and got away from, trying to, be a little messy. I definitely know I heard that piece of it. And I heard pretty much what LaRhonda was saying, in that you don't need to be there. It doesn't have to be picture perfect for us to, start this journey. So, I like that. So you proposed, right? We saw the proposal. And, by that point, I was biased. I was invested. I was like, leave them alone. So you were catching heat for this proposal that took place in this go-karting event. Please tell LaRhonda, this is what you do best. Tell them about the proposal. What did you think about it?
So did he got heat for that too? Shawn
he got heat, LaRhonda.
Every time he opened his mouth, he got heat.
Why he talk like that?
They didn't. But Shawn, no, they didn't like the proposal though.
Yeah, they thought it should have been a little more grandiose. It should have been more
No. So I will say the proposal was perfect. It was at our first date location. So they confused. So they like tricked me because I'm super nosy. It's not too much that you could like really get over on me. So like that day we were supposed to go to Top Golf, and then like midway for us going, and you got all this production stuff. They got the cameras, meet us at Top Golf at X time. And it's like, okay, we going to Top Golf. So today's nothing special. Nothing is special about Top Golf. But then they ended up having these COVID issues at Top Golf to where we had to switch it to the place next door, which just so happened to be our first date location. So I'm like, okay, this is a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
And then the proposal, it was perfect for me.
And again, like,
say it again one more time. Say it again for the people in the back.
It was perfect for me.
There you go.
and that's all that matters, because what happened was what?
And then the cherry on top was, because I'm over here when he did propose. For one, I didn't realize that he was about to propose because they tricked me they were tricking me the whole day. And then I'm like, okay, I don't see my family, but we are filming on TV, so they probably couldn't make it anyway. And then so when I went to the back and saw my entire family back there, it's like, okay, yeah, you outdid yourself, because that's more important to me. Like I said before, just genuine authenticity. Our first date location, bringing in my family. Like he thinks through the little things, and that's the type of person that I am too.
Yeah, she's definitely a genuine person. As she stated before, her love language is random acts of kindness. So of course, they pitched the whole grandiose ideas. And what about this? What about that? And I'm like, look, we already living our life out on this experience in front of the world. Like if I don't do something that's meaningful to both of us, she might say no. So I'm not doing that, bro. Like I need to do something that clicks and that's meaningful to her, and it hits home, and it means something to both of us. I'm not doing something that y'all just telling me to do just because y'all think it's gonna look good for TV.
Yeah, and
I don't care.
Shawn, I don't like the artificial and fake and the for TV stuff. So
yes, so I was like, bro, it gotta hit home, and I fought for that proposal because they was like, you sure? And I was like, yep, gotta do it, got to. And I told them like ABC of how I wanted it to play out, and they let me lead and said, okay, this is your proposal. This ain't for TV. This is real. So you tell us how you want to do it. And I told them, and they was like, if you sure, let's do it. Okay.
I mean, all I'm saying is they could have gave me a little heads up. I might have had a ball gown on or something.
In the go-kart in place now.
With the train out the back.
That's about the only thing that I would have done differently. Like, could y'all have told me? I would have. And
then of course we know the production schedule. So we're in the last week, right? And I'm like, if I tell her to put on her, best evening gown with heels, she already gonna know what's up. Yeah. So I'm like, nah, I want to have some kind of element of surprise. I want to do something that's genuine and something that's real to us. So.
And he did that.
So yeah.
And to be honest, it's like, I'm not capping. Like that is what I was like on the panels, and some folks were commenting all across the place. That is what I said. It's like because there's this social media concepts of what a proposal should look like. It needs to be over the top. It needs to be like a movie, and to me, what I saw was the genesis of your love and the things that were important to you, key elements, and then what you both wanted. So, some folks agree, but a lot of people were like, oh, it could have been a little more, but it's not about that. So I'm glad you dispelled those rumors.
I will say for some people it is about that though.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
But is that, and I think to me, it's like, is that what's going to help your marriage be, lasting forever? Right.
Listen, and some people I saw some of the comments. Some people was like, he was so broke that he had to do the proposal in an arcade. Oh my gosh, and I will agree that I was broke. You want to know why I was broke? Because a nigga ain't play around.
Shawn, if you don't
so I didn't play around with the ring. So if you want to take a little, take a little look. Hey, brother.
That's another. So you beat me to the punch. The next question was, did Shawn pay for the ring?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Ain't pay for nothing. Like when I say it almost hurt my heart to swipe my card, but it didn't hurt my heart to swipe my card because I know that she has imparted way more in my life than this ring that cost X amount, right? So I was like, man, this is just an investment in our future. So have I ever spent that kind of money before at one time? No. But is it worth every penny and more? Yes.
No, I wouldn't say that's what I saw a lot of the comments saying as well. I guess the show gives either a stipend or pay for the ring or XYZ.
Ain't no way he bought that ring. Stop playing with me.
That is a next.
Playing with me.
He about to go off, Larhonda.
If you would have saw what he went through.
Man, if you don't stop playing with me.
Where'd you go? Did you go to get the receipt? What's going on?
I had to figure out clarity, all of this. Like, because for her, like, I know that she loves genuine. She loves real. She loves, like, I ain't really big on the flaunty, gunny, all of that. Give me something that's gonna last. And I was like, okay. And when I start comparing, I was like, oh, like this the one she want. And they was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, just put it in the box. Tell me what it costs later. And then they told me what it costs. I was like, okay.
First of all, y'all were concerned about the comments, but you are getting nothing but love in the comments, the both of you. So one, Larhonda, they love your hair. They saying you giving them Lauryn Hill vibes.
Lord,
so they loving that.
Sing
Shawn,
for
they
'em,
loving
baby.
how you
Sing
stand in your truth.
Sing for 'em, baby.
I forgot what she's saying.
Yeah.
No.
LaRhonda, I had a sneak peek of your singing online. I don't know.
You know, I can do a little something.
A little something.
How much are the rent payments? There are no payments.
Oh, don't listen to Jay. That's Jay,
No,
and she's just starting trouble.
No.
We don't believe in payments.
Listen, I believed in payments before, but she don't believe in payments, so now we don't believe in payments. So
unless it's an asset paying for it.
Yeah, so she does not believe in pay. And that was another thing that I went through too. I was like, if I just do this down payment, then I can just kind of pay on it. But I was like, no, she does not believe in payments. Like, she's gonna be more mad when she found out that we can't go to dinner next month because I'm paying on the ring.
If you put on payments, just take it down a couple notches.
Yeah, and I knew that's how she felt. So I was like, bro, she's worth every penny. Like, just do it. Just do it.
I love that, man. That's beautiful. So no ring payments, no car payments, no. What about a mortgage? We could have a mortgage. You're gonna have a mortgage payment now. Come on.
You can have a mortgage as long as
okay.
In there paying your mortgage for you.
Okay. All right now. I hear that. Real estate investor.
Come on, baby.
Y'all done shook the whole camera.
He's getting out of hand.
No, we're not getting out of here. Listen, I actually just paid my car off a couple months ago. So yeah, we ain't got no car payments. So
love it. Yeah. Look at that. That is generational wealth being built. So when's the wedding date? Come on, let us know. Or do you have one? I'll say.
We don't.
No.
But I will say we are looking at the end of next year.
Okay.
I'm a destination wedding, so still in the process of doing all that.
Okay, the end of next year.
A really hard time of like not having a date right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, y'all, we just got in. Well, at this point, what?
3
months ago, right?
Yeah. So yeah, no date yet, but I ain't go Jim Jones, my baby. So
so end of next year.
We'll be looking out for it.
Early.
You coming, Shawn?
23.
I didn't want to be tacky because, again, I was married before. I know the wedding politics. So I'm like, I'm just gonna, but if you got an invitation coming my way, I love to travel.
Listen, we'll let you know, man. And I still do want 20 groomsmen, at least.
Shawn, oh man, 20 groomsmen.
I got a lot of people that love us.
These are your fraternity brothers? That's
yeah, fraternity brothers.
Okay, all right. So y'all gonna be stepping. Y'all gonna show out at the wedding. I know it.
I still got a little in the tank. Don't be stalling, son.
That's gonna be the movie. What you said?
What would I stall if you say her name, Jay? What would I stall for? No, I don't. I wouldn't.
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her.
This is my baby.
That's one of my good friends from the panel. We also have a channel that we co-host together. Jay just be starting trouble.
I love it. You in a fraternity too, Shawn? What?
No fraternity. I didn't pledge.
All good.
Well, 2 L's asked me that. Oh no fraternities here. I was me in college.
I ain't mad at it. What school?
Same here.
I went to Hofstra University in New York.
Okay. Not familiar, but it sounds like a great college.
The thing that it's best known for is they used to host all the presidential debates. So
oh, nice. Yeah.
That's kind of how they're small private school in Long Island. But yep. So there's not a date quite planned, but you have a time frame, which is great.
Yes. Because we got to get these babies popping soon.
So how many babies again? What are we talking about here? Because Shawn, come on, bro. Help me out. There is 7. Not going to be no 7 kids.
7.
Listen, it's
7. Straight up.
You better get a football team that you can coach or something. What?
I've already been looking at luxury sprinters. That's the only vehicle that's going to hold the whole fam. So 7. We in there.
I can't. I'm not. I don't believe. LaRhonda, are you on board for 7 kids?
Baby, tell them.
No.
Baby, no. Tell
he
them.
Is getting.
Tell them the truth.
2. I might do 3, depending on how my vibe. Actually, I'm gonna start with 1, and they tell me after the first one, like apparently, you'll figure out
Mm-hmm.
if you wanna go again or not. So we'll start with 1 and see where it goes from there. Because I am not a spring chicken anymore.
You still got a little spring in you, baby.
A little bit, but
Maybe you want to adopt down the line or something.
Yes,
I don't know how we get into 7.
I definitely want to adopt. So
they say I'm the type to slip you fertility pills. Tell them that ain't gonna happen. What you got, baby? What you got?
What I got? Oh, no.
What?
I'm sorry, Shawn. See, he be doing too much. I apologize.
You said it before.
You pushing him out the frame. Shawn, you went off script, bro. Come on now. Oh man, I love that about you guys. Y'all are a lot of fun. It has been a lot of fun chopping it up with you, getting to know you, getting to know your background. Oh, they guys, I promised them the chat was gonna be tamed. 2 L's. You're killing me right now.
I'm gonna argue with that one.
Wait a second. That's why he saved for that ring and in 1 payment.
Because who washed the dishes? Me.
Oh, you do the dishes? Yeah, let's dig into that a little bit. So household chores, who does what? Wait, both of y'all got your hands up. So
there's no specific chores.
Cardi B say, "I'll cook, I'll clean."
Listen,
but let me
he is lying. Okay, Shawn, the part that he is leaving out is
he is on a roll here.
The part that he is leaving out is I still work in corporate America. I work in sales, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these days, I am up at 6. I may be done at 9:30, 10 o'clock, right?
And I'm
He
chilling.
is an entrepreneur, business owner, XYZ. He has a set tour schedule a few days a week. He has a lot more time than I do, okay?
But I actually don't mind cleaning though. Like dishes in the sink annoy me. So like I'll clean every day. Yeah. I don't mind cleaning at all. Like that's
all right.
That's the thing. Like I put my music and just vibe.
I like that. I like that you guys do what works for you based on how your lifestyles and your work situations are set up. That's so important out there. And I think for anybody looking to get married or have a stable relationship, you got to do what works for you. And you guys proved that to us. Because clearly everybody's commenting on the connection that you guys have. They can just see the love radiating through the screen. So they see that. So I think that's evident. Somebody asked traditional roles or modern. I think I could answer it, but I'll let you guys answer the question.
Whatever need to get done, get it done. Don't wait.
It depends on what we're talking about. I think we definitely take more of a modern approach just based off of what works for us. But although I'm like a modern woman, I still have very traditional values.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like trash, I don't want to touch it. So,
but
other than that,
it's never a time that I'm like, "Where's my food, woman?" Right? It ain't like that. It's like if it ain't no food here, let me go ahead and cook or order something. So
I think order, because we saw by that peanut butter sandwich, your cooking skills is.
Order.
When I say cook, like that includes peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like that's a real meal.
Cereal and boiled eggs.
There's no cooking. There's no stove that you need for that.
Have you ever looked up the definition of cook? Is what I'm saying. You haven't. You really don't know what cooking is.
Okay,
cook
Shawn.
is making sure you have something to nourish your body with. So,
don't make me share my screen, Shawn. There is no cooking in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Then I'm gonna make it happen.
I hear you. The other part, so I like that, you said, whatever needs to get done. And, Larhonda, you mentioned about the traditional values that you have, but you are what would be considered a modern woman. Would you say that you are submissive, or would you consider yourself submissive in a relationship?
Would I consider? Am I submissive, baby?
Why are you looking down, Shawn?
I am
I'm
submissive.
gonna let her answer the question.
Yes, I would consider myself submissive to the right individual and leader.
So are you submissive to Shawn?
Shawn knows what yes.
Okay.
One or 2 days, just depending on what he does. And then the other days I might be like, okay, I just doing my own thing.
She likes proactiveness.
I do.
So I'm supposed to think her thoughts before she think them.
No.
Right. So I'm supposed to fix her food before she hungry.
That is not true.
Like, and so and if we on the road trip somewhere and she like, hey, we need to go to the store, I'm like, okay, cool, let's go to the store. And if I'm taking too long to put on my shoes, I'm like, okay, I'm coming. Right. So she just like proactiveness. If you get it done when she wants you to get it done, she'll let you leave. If you take it too long, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
No. What?
If something needs to be done, then
it's not.
I don't like having to tell. No.
It's not a lot of things that she will ask for help for, right? So if she sees that it needs to get done, she'll go ahead and get it done. And I'm like, baby, why didn't you just come to me and tell me that you wanted to get the ladder out and change the light bulb? Oh, I got it. Don't worry about it. And so I don't even know.
I mean, I'm just the type of person
because she's like, it needs to get done.
I'm the type of person that if I see something that needs to be done or handled or like just in various aspects of life, like I don't necessarily care to always have to tell. Like if it's something that's obvious,
okay,
just either I can see it and get it done, or now I have to ask you. And if I have to ask you, now I seem like I'm the one that is leading that said thing. And you're just doing what I'm saying. And I don't really care for anyone to just do what I say either.
Random acts of kindness. Like I should literally be walking around the house looking for stuff to fix. And then that'll make her happy. by the time she sees
with your clipboard, taking notes. All right.
He exaggerates so.
Why is this faucet leaky? I got it, baby. Because by the time she see it, it's done. It's done.
But like, no, I definitely am and will be and am submissive.
Okay, so this will be the question that is kind of the determining point if you are really submissive. So let's say you guys disagree on having a dinner at your house. You want to host or entertain something. Larhonda, you want to do it. Shawn doesn't want to do it. There's really nothing that you're going to lose by not doing it. It's just you want to do it. He doesn't. What's going to happen?
Then we're not going to do the dinner.
You're submissive. That's what it's about.
I always. I will say I will let him know that I really want to do this dinner and hope that he changed his mind. But at the end of the day, I don't like to force people to do things that they don't want to do. But yeah, I'll try to. I'll put
Shawn,
on
some people.
I'll put on my puppy face.
some people call this weak, but I've been in situations like my mom, my sister, where they wanted, like their man to do the right thing, right? So what I want is whatever she wants, and that's so real, right? And she don't like that. She like, I want you to lead and tell me what we're doing. And I'm like, I literally want to do whatever you want, baby. Like I get to do everything I want to do in life. Like my career allows me to travel and work and have fun and do everything I want to do. Right. So when it comes to our relationship, I literally want to do whatever she wants to do. Yeah. And she's like, do you want to go to the concert? No. And I'm like, what?
Okay, Shawn. So that's like if you ask a lady, or if someone is hungry, right? You're with a lady and she's hungry. And you're asking her, or she's like, can you take me to get something to eat? And we're like, well, what do you want to eat? And it's like, just please surprise me with some meal or restaurant or whatever. Ladies don't like to make a restaurant decision or choose what to eat. So just take me to the
Shawn, she make a decision about everything else. But when it comes to food, or when it comes to where we about to hang out at, plan something, let me know.
I like
cool.
I like for people to plan.
But she'll run everything else. So
I gotta say, the thing that I like about it though is because, and I don't know how religious or how your beliefs, but biblically it says, obviously husband and wives, submit yourselves one to another, right? And I think when I think about that, that's what you two just displayed, right? Because we often think in a traditional sense the man is leading, and absolutely, for those that prescribe to traditional, that's true, but it doesn't mean leading in a vacuum. And I think what you guys just worked out is that example, right? Because you even said it, LaRhonda, I would choose not to do it because I really, really don't want to force him, but I would hope that he would change his mind. And then Shawn said, I would want to do what makes her happy. So that means you're constantly working together on what that looks like. So I think that's what makes a marriage long lasting.
That's real.
So love it. Last couple of questions.
Got time.
A couple of people were asking around the therapy piece on the show. So when you guys talked about the therapy on the show, was that with Dr. Nicole? Were there other experts involved? What was that process like?
No, therapy on the show was only with Dr. Nicole.
So
we would have our group sessions with the entire, with our castmates and all of us together. And then we had individual group sessions with just like myself and Dr. Nicole, Shawn and Dr. Nicole. We also had group sessions with just the ladies and Dr. Nicole, the guys and Dr. Nicole. So a lot of those group sessions, they were taken out. Oh yeah. And then we had a couples session with Dr. Nicole. So I think on TV, you guys only saw like a few of those, but no one else behind the scenes. Dr. Nicole would come in, or we would go to the house and cameras rolling, and the therapy and the conversations would start from there.
Yeah, and I will say that Dr. Nicole is amazing. Like when we do the whole group sessions, when we were at the house, like for timing, those are more so like cut and dry a little bit. But when we did like the individual sessions and stuff, and you actually give her that freedom and that rope to go, like she really dug into some stuff. So like Dr. Nicole is like a very genuine, great person.
Yeah,
and it was cool.
I will say though, at like the group sessions, it was harder to kind of, not even harder, but since she's kind of talking to everyone and all of our issues aren't the same, right? So like, although she would like break it down to each couple or person individually in those group sessions, a lot of that had to be more generalized. But no, the one-on-one sessions were really good. And then like the couple sessions individually outside of the group session.
And even just as a person, she showed us that she cared about us. So like we've had some conversations even after the show that Dr. Nicole really like proved herself to be a solid individual. She's great. So
awesome. Now, have you guys continued any type of couples therapy or premarital counseling?
With the Lord, yes.
No, we haven't.
Amen.
We plan to do that prior to marriage.
Okay.
I think that was actually on my list of things to do and get set up. But like once we finished filming the show and then watching the show, there was a whole other just process of trying to work through it. And then afterwards, it was like we were thrown back into real life. I'm in sales, got to try to meet these goals. He's back on the road. So honestly, we've kind of been him. When he's going, I'm coming. When I'm coming, he's going. So we do need to sit down sooner than later.
But sometimes we come together.
Sometimes we do. But no, we haven't. No, we have not gotten into couples therapy yet.
Okay. But something down the line. So sounds like it is
definitely prior to marriage.
Good. Another question from the show is they wanted to know, was that the house that we saw where you guys were staying, is that really where you live, or was that a production house?
Oh, you're talking about
not where you're filming today, but where they filmed the show.
Our parts of the show or the group session?
No, when I guess when the dates came to your home.
No, that's our
apartment.
Yeah, we live in Decatur.
Okay, so that's really your house. Okay.
Yeah.
Some people thought it might have been a production house because a lot of times some people do that and they don't really film in their own house. So that was
no. We wouldn't let them lie to the people. It's a LaRhonda and Shawn house. Well, it's really hers. So, but yeah.
So yes, no, they came here, and we got in trouble with the HOA board and everything. So
yeah, they don't like us. Mm-mm.
Oh, really?
Cause they would bring the production vans and everything, and they was move out from front of my driveway. It's a lot. It's a lot.
When you think about the show, is there anything you regret about doing the show or anything from the show?
What is so funny?
I would not do it again.
You wouldn't?
What? No. Like, no, boy, man, no. It was a lot for me. Like everything that I went through emotionally, and everybody making their own assumptions and all of this. Like it was bad for me for a minute. I wouldn't do it again. I would just love on my baby and then get married and post the pictures. Closed doors. Man.
Yeah, I don't think for me it wasn't necessarily anything that I regretted from the show. I think I kept it pretty solid. Tried to I ain't try to do be too extra. Just I think people, whenever they come do these shows, like they act like they don't see these 5 and 6 cameras in front of them. And so when it plays back on TV, it's like, oh, they had me looking crazy. But it's like, but you saw all of the people and the cameras in front of you. So no, just try to, be respectful, not only for myself, but for my family, who was also going to be watching, for my man who I wasn't trying to lose. And I will say the comments ain't dragged me too bad. So
no.
Now somebody said Shawn didn't like all the crying that was done. No, I'm a crier. I'm not hiding away from that. I'm saying I didn't like all the crying that was showed. You could have cut a little bit. You ain't have to do me like that. But I am a crier. I am an emotional person, so I don't shy away from that, man.
Somebody was saying that I think Darian did an interview. And he mentioned that production told you to cry or something like that.
No,
they asked
foremost.
Yeah, so that. But after we had the group session, when I literally broke down, they just commended me on being open enough to share that with the people.
Right. So they came out and just being a Black man, really being emotional, expressing emotions, XYZ. I will say that, from a production standpoint, since that's something that isn't really seen in our just culture in general, no. So they definitely praised him for that, but it was not a Shawn cry and okay, good job. It was not that.
And cut, we got it. It wasn't that at all. They just commended me on being open enough to share with the group and not having to excuse myself or hey, I don't want to talk about that, but just really, really opening up and taking it there. They were like, wow, thank you. I mean, so.
Got you. So if there was one thing, I know we cleared up the fact about, listen, Shawn, you're gainfully employed, you're an entrepreneur, you're out here making your money. Your concern was more so you wanted to be consistent, and there was just certain goals. Some of them were not even goals that were necessary for the development of your relationship, but just things that you wanted. Outside of that, what's the thing that's got you saying nah, I wouldn't do it again? Is it those two things, or is there something else?
One of my OGs, he told me that he was like, you can't control the edit. So if you go in, know what you're doing, right? And so just knowing that you can't control the edit, knowing that your narrative is not yours, but it's up to the production, I wouldn't do that again. Unless I was an executive producer or something, and I can be like, okay, this shows a well-rounded story, then yeah. But being in a situation to where you give them all of you and you're open and you're honest and you're not hiding things and you're, giving them real moments, and then they cut it up how they want to cut it up.
For
no.
Entertainment purposes.
Oh no. I would not.
No, I will say what surprised me just after the show started air, I did not realize how invested people really are and can become when it comes to reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
And taking what is seen on TV as we know these people, this is their lives. And all the time we're looking like this is a complete edit and has absolutely this is not us. But for so many people to tell you who you are, tell you what your relationship is, and like really feel like they know you as a person. It's like, so I didn't necessarily like that. I did not like it. I just didn't realize like how much that would be.
And again, out of respect for everybody that's involved in production, we're not saying that the show is scripted or fake at all, because it's a real show. But like, you are going to have storylines when it comes to TV, right? So everything they cut up aligns with those storylines, right? Larhonda, successful Black woman, corporate, doing her thing, taking care of this baby of a man. So everything that she does has to align with their storyline. My storyline is broke, trying to figure it out, lucked up on a beautiful Black queen. Everything I do has to align with their storyline.
Right. And so, see, that's what I ain't like. Because I'm like, where's my jokes? Where's my laughs? Where is like, y'all, like, I am this quote unquote almost perfect / reserved person on TV. Like, where am I at in here?
Somebody did say Larhonda is Larhonda more lively in real life? Yes. Like, she's the life of the party. Like, she's definitely more outgoing than I anticipated when I heard about her career. And I was like, oh, okay, we about to go sit in the VIP and turn our nose up at people and hey, hello. But she like, nah, I'm on couches, bitch.
I hope did you get some opportunities, Shawn, because you are definitely entertaining me, the audience. Everybody can't stop laughing with you, and the jokes are definitely flowing. So is there anything that has springboarded from being on this show, or things that you have in the works?
We just kept grinding, man. We just kept grinding. I kept doing what I do, just as far as with college tours and everything like that. Like, I have been getting more notoriety when I show up on campuses, and people's like, yo, like, but they so young. These, like, you know what I'm saying, students are so young. They're like, ooh, like, you was on my mama favorite show. And I'm like, oh God. He was like, yeah, I got to FaceTime my mama. Look, mama, I'm with Shawn. Right. And so it's been a little bit more notoriety, but as far as opportunities, like, I really was grinding. We really were working when it comes to that, college space and from a stand-up space. So I know everybody. So like, it's really just people coming to me like, yo, bro, I got a show for you. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to go up here? But we're so busy during tour season that I really couldn't. I scheduling wise, I couldn't take any other opportunities yet. So yeah, I have some things lined up though. So that's cool.
Awesome. So when you mentioned about not doing a show again, like a reality-based show, unless you were like the EP of it. So if you were presented with that opportunity, would you two consider something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do a show where we talked about just the balance of, love and still working in entertainment, like being a real entertainer, being on the road, understanding what that comes with, but also, balancing a real relationship, a real marriage, right? Because let me say this real quick, baby. Because one thing about Larhonda, she don't give a F about nothing. And like recently, I caught so much smoke from like coming in town and dipping back out. She was like, really? Like, you like, I got a love-hate relationship with tour season and I'm like, baby, like, you don't like when I'm not working and you don't like when I am working. Listen, so like, it's Shawn, really interesting dynamic.
Had 24 hours. And he sometimes, I will say, which is a part. Again, I love all of these things about Shawn, but sometimes he can become over-consumed with work.
That's true.
And again, what is my love language is quality time. So again, I don't mind if you're working, but can I get 5 minutes? Slow down for 1 second. Is all I ask.
No, I hear that. So it sounds like a balance in there, that you're looking for. So, that's all good. And I think the biggest thing from what I see is you two communicate with each other, right? So if there's something you feel like you want and vice versa, you let each other know, which is dope. Oh, there's Daryl. I interviewed him. He was my first interview. We didn't go live, but he was my first interview. He was on an episode of Family or Fiance. Okay. And he said, shout out to you guys. And, he was He understood your casting and the production and all that behind the scenes stuff. So he says he identifies with that. So
I appreciate you, homie.
Now I will say if I ever did anything relationship wise from a TV or from a reality TV perspective, I would honestly like it to be more in line with just Black love and love in general. I think it's so much just negativity that the people love, right? Like it's entertaining. But I think it's so many more relationships that are not toxic and speak outside of that it would be nice to see sometimes.
And I think it was one of the situations of just uncovering the truth in, are y'all toxic or not, right? We're gonna put you through these different situations. We're gonna put, like Dr. Nicole gave us different assignments, gave us the different, daters, all of this. And they even like assigned us daters who they thought were perfect for us, right? So the experience really puts you in the mindset of, do I love this person for real, right? Or is this person a better option?
I didn't feel that.
The experience is that's what it's designed to do.
I know who I love at the end of the day. But if I want to have a conversation,
tell them who you love.
You see, this is what I got to deal with.
Y'all need a show. I'm telling you, I would be tuned in, and a lot of folks would be tuned in to watch it. So if you haven't already, and you can't talk about it, but if you're not, get that going, because you guys are hilarious.
Nah, I appreciate it. Somebody say, is Shawn still scared about playing with fire? Because that was his main argument on the show. Not no more. They done saw me on the show, so I don't get no chance.
He don't get no fire no more.
Your fire's been extinguished,
man,
huh?
What? How you doing, sweetheart? Tell LaRhonda I said hey.
That show brought a whole fire extinguisher out. I'm over here like.
I can't even be nice at the bar no more. What y'all drinking? Buy something for LaRhonda.
You gonna cry, Shawn?
Like,
what? So you got a whole bunch of LaRhonda stands out there. They blocking.
What?
No, but he was at Chick-fil-A the other day, and the lady's like,
No. Let me tell you this story. So I was at Chick-fil-A. You know how they have like the menus, like out meeting you in the drive-thru or whatever. And so the lady took our order, was looking at me crazy, let us pull up to the other lady that like to scan our card, scan our card to pay for it or whatever. The lady that was supposed to scan our card, for no reason at all, she was like, wait a minute, my machine is acting up. But she just took somebody's order. So it gave the other lady time to come up and to be like, was you on that show? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I told her to hold on because I really wanted to ask you that. You was on that show? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, just stop crying so much, bro. And she just walked away.
At Chick-fil-A? That's supposed to be number one customer service. It's supposed to be.
She looked me up and down and said, just stop crying so much, bro.
So yeah, I'm not even worried about when he go out no more. Like
I don't get no fire.
That's it.
He think he just the swaggiest already in general. So
but I also don't go out though. Like I also enjoy like doing the show, getting something to eat, coming home and talking to LaRhonda till I get sleepy. Right?
That is true.
No, that's cool.
I love it. Which I love.
I love. I ain't got to, man, what? I ain't got to worry about.
Did she say my pleasure? Probably not. She was so fed up with Shawn from the show.
She was disgusted. She was like,
she was giving him feedback. You like take the, keep the feedback. You want to give me something? Give me a free order.
Man,
over here harassing me. They said she belongs at Popeyes with that customer.
Hilarious. I remember that's a real story. I forgot where we were, but like real talk. She held up the line to come up and say that to me.
Out of control. So this is kind of like some of the last stuff. So just breathe and we'll get through this together. I think we had a good, nice good hour and change chopping it up. We just got to dive into some of the aftermath that's happened since you guys, aired the show.
Let me get
so.
I ain't got.
No, don't go.
You gotta, yeah, we get that. No, I'm kidding.
Y'all about to shut down the interview.
Oh, the internet going.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we hear you. No. We hear you loud and clear. So, what's y'all take on all of this drama? Say whatever you want to say. It's a general question.
Which part? Which part of the drama?
So clearly, the biggest piece is how things played out between Darian, Alexia, Kai, that part. And some of it, the relationship being questioned, things like that.
And I will say, as you know, Shawn, we try to stay out of the drama, but I will say, I do think that sometimes people in general will show, look, I'm trying to be politically correct. I think that people show their cars, got embarrassed on national TV, and then tried to save face. And they did not realize that in the spirit of entertainment or doing too much, that their partner was going, and especially if you are an entertainer and you love the spotlight, that your partner was going to get, more shine and notoriety from your actions. So I think folks try to save face, but
yeah, I think folks went in with a plan, and that plan didn't go like they thought, right? And then it's kind of like, well, let me shake the table. Let me kind of steal the spotlight or steal the shine back, because I needed this to, help me with whatever, right?
Yeah, but I will say they were in a relationship prior to the show.
Yes.
Okay. Jay says, "Who is people?"
Y'all seen the show?
Yeah, I'll take this comment. No comment is a good answer. Okay. So, seeing how everything played out, did you give any advice to, anybody about how they should handle things and all of the press that was kind of happening afterwards?
No, me and Lex, we're really good friends now. I think we're all, for the most part, as far as all of us as castmates, except for one people, except for one people, like we're all really close. So we always have conversations, give advice, how to navigate through. I'll say even during the show, like people will show their cards, but at the same time, like, don't accept the bull either. Like, see, people will say one thing, but their actions speak louder. And you should know how to move from there. So, yeah. And
somebody said prior to the show, meaning 2 days.
I mean, and a lot of my advice too was just like, at this point, you can't keep talking about your past victories, right? Meaning the show's over. So I would love for people to focus on what they have going on currently and why people should be invested in them, right? And not still.
People, in this case, he's talking about Alexia.
Yes, I would tell Lex, like, I'm saying, let people know what you got going and why you so dope. Let people know why you dope now versus trying to dispel, rumors and debunk all of this other stuff that got, a lot of, the viewers confused, right? Like, just tell people why you so dope. Tell them why they should, love Lex, because now it's a bunch of mess.
It's a bunch of mess. And the more that you respond, the more messier it gets, the more cloudy, the more muddy. And it's like, bruh, that's not helping anybody's situation right now. But
yeah, people gonna think what they want to think regardless. But I think that you're in a space to focus on what you have next coming up, and not just, be so bogged down in, why would he say that? That ain't the truth. Why would she do that? Why like that?
Like people in general are savages. Some people are savages. Like, I don't think you can always question why or try to prove, or what they say, if you argue with a crazy person, then it's two crazy people arguing. Like,
ooh, drop that again, baby.
Shawn.
Ooh, that was a gem.
Either way,
That's it. Tell him again. Tell him again for your man. What was that? What was that quote?
I forgot what I said. When you argue with a crazy person, the folks on the outside, they don't know which one of y'all crazy. I ain't say it like that. I don't remember how I said it. Either way, just like let people talk, do what they're gonna do, say what they want to say, and you can't question everything or ask why. Some people don't care.
Don't get so caught up in other people worrying about your life that you don't live your own life. So that's something like live your life. You dope. You out here doing your thing. Tell people why you dope and stop focusing on all of the BS. Like I was upset.
Me too.
I was like, man, listen, you doing the most for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, they're definitely loving you guys. Back to the show idea. We got Hannah, who is out in Sweden, and she said she is invested in you guys. So
what up, Hannah?
She said there are no shows for Black people over here. So definitely
tell you happy birthday.
Then we got my good friend Linda, and she is in Switzerland. So she's saying the same. So listen, y'all got international fans.
Exactly. And listen, we love to travel. So, if y'all can book us somewhere, we'll, make our way.
And I want to do a show. So yeah.
So we got a question. I'm gonna, Jay, I think this is a good one. She says, do you think your friendship with one side could make you a little biased?
Who you want to answer?
Who you want to answer? Me?
Oh, both of you.
You can go first, baby.
I would say somewhat, but not really. I think that during filming, we all had conversations, just our own relationships with people. And you can sense who folks are. Like they show you their cards. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think that it can make you biased because you actually see how people responded, some things that they said, some comments, all of that. And I'm like, dang, like people just flip. Like this wasn't people that we knew 2 months ago. Like, so yeah.
Got you.
I'm just a fan of solid people. And when you show me that you're not solid, I'm like,
And I will say when you show that you're not solid, not necessarily from their relationship specifically, but just in general.
Just a character. And I'm like, oh no, like that ain't what people was on. So yeah.
So you mentioned Alexia. Are you guys still in contact or friendly with Eric and Jessica?
Yes.
Okay.
Like them are people.
Nice.
I feel like I invited E to a show the other day because we was like in this neck of the woods, and he claims to have a basketball game, and I was like, all right, bro, like you don't want to see me on that court. He claimed he a hooper.
Okay. So we can look out for that. We can have a put a ring on it basketball tournament. You definitely got to post that. I got to watch that. Yeah, I think that, even as somebody who clearly doesn't know you guys and didn't know anyone from the cast, I watched and I definitely had some question marks, but the one thing I learned, as I kind of delve really more into reviewing is sometimes you got to give people a little grace. I was one who was very tough on Alexia. Not that I necessarily thought Darian was, the best thing smoking either, no pun intended, but I just saw some gaps there. And I think as you explained it, maybe that is what could be a better bridge to where I was initially, which is just don't get involved, don't do all the responses, because if you are telling the truth, when you start doing all the responses and all the interviews and all the follow-ups and trying to explain and retell the story, it just makes those watching question it even more. So that's kind of where I was. But then at the end, I just was like, I just want her to move on, get a better situation, and be happy, because it just seemed like it just went from left to toxic real quick. So, if Alexia is out there, she watches this, I'm sending, love and light your way, sis. you know, and you know, we all make mistakes, we all fall, we all stumble in relationships, and we learn from it. So hoping that's for you, and tried to be not too messy, because I know we talked about that, you know, before we had this interview, and I made a promise that I wasn't going to go down a real messy, nasty lane, because, you know, that's not what you guys are about. And at the end of the day, me neither. You know, I'm unfiltered, so I want to get to the truth. But I rather get to the truth of who I'm talking to. So appreciate you guys for sharing that.
We appreciate it.
No, for sure. Our only advice to people is just be a solid people.
Just be a solid people.
Yeah.
Nah, but thank you for that, Shawn. But at the same time, like you said, yeah, we try to stay out of. No one's perfect. We're not perfect. Our relationship isn't perfect. So a lot of times we try to stay out of what other folks are doing or saying and focus on ourselves. But at the same time, as a friend, you know, just being there and trying to give good, solid advice. Yeah,
we got enough stuff to work through ourselves. So without trying to focus on fixing everybody else. So
I hear you. 2L says, call Will Packer, Shawn, and get your show.
He followed me now, so that's a win. So we'll see.
What's this? D says, am I planning to interview anyone else from the cast? No, but if anybody's interested in coming on, I'll have a conversation with you for sure. You know, like, and that's just to let you guys know a little bit too. I'm not like an interviewer per se. Yeah. I'll choose to interview people that, or proactively reach out to people that I'm interested in from watching, right? So I was interested, I reached out. Same for Daryl, who was in the comments earlier. I was interested. Actually, he reached out because he saw a review that we did, but then I became interested and was like, yeah, let's do something for sure. And, you know, so I definitely think you guys have a bright future of Black love ahead of you. And I can't wait to see, you know, what's heading out next for you. But before we conclude, is there anything that you want to share, whether it's projects, anything you want to talk about before we wrap up tonight?
Not really. No. Again, I thank everyone who definitely tuned in to watch us put our lives out on national TV and somewhat embarrass ourselves in ways. But thank you for the support, the comments. But no, nothing, no last words from me. Follow me on Instagram, One Dope Chick. Other than that, I just be vibing.
Follow me, JDukes1911, JAYDUKES 1911. Yeah, man. And then also follow at Ops Court Wars. If you see us in a city near you, a lot of times it's just for like the college students, but if you hit me up, I'll let you come and kick it. So yeah, follow us, man. We love the support. Appreciate all the love and the love. So thank y'all. Shawn, thank you. All the people that tuned in, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, you say you're not an interviewer, but I like this. The conversation was great.
I actually had fun. I thought we was at 30 minutes, and I looked up and was like, oh.
Yeah, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. I was like, all right, I know these folks got business to do. It's a Friday night, you know, so I could, if that's anything about me, I could run my mouth. I could chop it up with anybody, and especially people who, you know, who can dissect themselves, look at themselves, have honest, open conversations. That's really what, you know, this channel and my idea and starting this was all about. So, yeah, appreciate you. Again, thank you for, you know, my first live. We got some dope comments. So I appreciate everybody that's checking us out. You know, anybody else that didn't get to check out the live, please, you know, feel free to watch the replay. Appreciate you all. And thanks again. Good night, everybody.
Thank y'all. Good night.